Assembly Planner makes transition planning on an assembly line easy. Assembly Planner lets you see the effects of a line rebalance on your current workstations and streamlines production process changes to corresponding logistics changes. Here in PFEP, we see the part plans for all parts in a process routing. We can see where a part is coming from and where it is being delivered today. Now suppose we're rebalancing a line due to a change in production demands. In the current state, we can see which tasks are assigned to which stations. If we clone this balance, then change the takt time from 48 minutes to 58 minutes, we can see the new balance and task assignments. After making a few manual adjustments, we decide that this is the new balance we want to use on the floor. So how do we know what changes need to be made on the floor before work can be performed according to the new balance? With Assembly Planner, this is simple. I'm going to run a scenario comparison report to view the differences between the current state balance and the new balance. If we look through this report, we can see which tasks have remained at a station, been added to the station, or removed from the station. Because parts are associated to each task in Assembly Planner, if a task moves, so must the part. We can see here that this report lists every part delivered to a station, as well as where it was previously delivered. In addition, we can see the resources now required at every station, and where those resources are currently located to make it easy for your personnel to retrieve each resource and move it to the necessary station. So now you've seen how to prepare your workstations for the new balance. What about changing part deliveries so material handling can make them available to the correct stations? Assembly Planner uses this same report information to send to PFEP. First, I'm going to apply the scenario to the database to update the process data, since we made the decision to move forward with this balance. Then I'm going to publish the routing data to PFEP. So as we look back at the part plans, the parts that have moved have been noted accordingly. We can see where the part was previously located and where it now needs to be delivered. If the delivery point has racks and slots, I can specify those now. If you're using ProPlanner's eKanban or e-kitting systems, you could then print new part labels. I'm going to select Kanban parts that have moved. I'm doing this manually, but I could also use the column filters to display only part plans with the change type of move to narrow down the list. Then I'm going to generate new container labels for the Kanban parts. The first list you'll see is a list of every label that will be printed for every container and every part that is moved. This is an example of a Kanban container label that Assembly Planner can generate. Now I'll print a rack label for the new kitted part delivery point. Every rack label specifies the part number, the station, rack, and slot information. Being able to print and use these new labels immediately eliminates confusion for material handlers. Okay, so now suppose that because of design changes, we know that parts required to complete a task have changed. By the way, there are many ways to track this in Assembly Planner. Let's say that the pipe plug is no longer needed for this task, so I've removed that from our consumption list. Instead, an oil fill plug is needed, so I've added that to the consumption list for this task. If this were the only change I needed to make at this time, I can publish the data again to PFEP and revisit the part plans. Now we see that PFEP has noted the part that has been removed. Since the part plan is no longer needed, I can choose to remove it from the list. In addition, a new part plan record has been added for the plug that was added to the task consumption. Again, I could print a new label for the part, and changes could be propagated to the floor almost immediately. So as you have seen, preparing a station for a new balance and performing consequential line-side presentation studies are made easy with the integrated data capabilities of ProPlanner's Assembly Planner.